Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of Kyle's Vlog, the podcast. If you're coming back after episode 1, why? If you're here for the first time, welcome. So today, we're going to talk about, we're going to get on specific subjects. Sometimes we're going to talk about me, sometimes we're going to talk about specific things. I had an entirely different plan for this, podcast, but some new Unearthed Arcana came out like 2 days ago that I'm really excited about. So we're going to talk about this instead. So if you know me, you know I play a lot of Magic, Magic the Gathering, and a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Both are owned by Wizards of the Coast. So occasionally, over the last couple of years, Wizards has figured out that crossing over Dungeons and Dragons and crossing over with Magic the Gathering is basically printing money. They have a new Dungeons and Dragons Magic set coming out real soon, and they've been making a lot of the Magic the Gathering settings into Dungeons and Dragons books. So, an Unearthed Arcana just came out like 2 days ago for the Mages of Strixhaven. Strixhaven is currently the newest set of Magic cards. It's out right now. I've bought over an entire box worth. I basically have every card in this set. I love it. I built 3 commander decks off of it and upgraded a bunch more. It's a real fun set. Real fun colors, real fun mechanics. It's like essentially a Harry Potter analog. You're going to a wizard school. It's like a wizard college with different, different branches of the school, different houses. So the Unearthed Arcana is called Mages of Strixhaven. It leaked earlier this week that it's going to be one of the source books. So they've already printed the source book. This UA is just for us to test, and it's very interesting UA. Usually, you have a couple new subclasses for certain classes. This completely changes the way we go about new subclasses. This book has 5 new subclasses, 1 for each college. Lorehold being your red-white. It says here they're dedicated to the pursuit of history, and they converse with ancient spirits of past dead people. You have the Prismari College, which is blue-red. It's dedicated to visual and performing arts, bolstered by the power of elements. Dancing, shooting off fireballs and shooting it, stuff like that. Quadric's College, which is my favorite of the colleges in this group. It's blue-green, and it's dedicated to the study of like math and mathematic principles, or magic magicians, not mathematicians, if that makes any sense. They make things bigger, they make things smaller, etc. Then there's Silver Quill College, which is the black-white one. It's dedicated to magic words, speeches, demagogues, stuff like that. So using your words either uplift your allies or knock them down, or knock down the enemies a peg. And then it finishes off with Witherbloom, which is green-black, and it's like alchemy, life and death, potions, stuff like that. So those are the 5 colleges. Usually, there'd be a subclass for certain classes. For this one, unlike the regular subclasses, it says the options presented here are designed to be compatible with multiple classes. So these subclasses are for multiple classes, and it just gives you, your first ability, your second ability, your third. So you just replace, instead of saying, let's say, instead of being a lore bard, I'm going to be a Lorehold bard. So I don't have, a subclass like normal. I just become a Lorehold college bard. So basically these subclasses replace your college or whatever. And they have a number of different classes they can be. So let's kind of go through it. So let's start with Lorehold. So Lorehold subclass is available for bards, warlocks, and wizards. So we're talking, this subclass can be used for 3 different classes. I feel like specifically, this one's pretty good for bards and wizards. Warlocks, again, all these can be used for warlocks, and it's cool to get some bonus spells, but at the end of the day, I would probably not do warlock. I probably wouldn't play warlock if I have options to play bard or wizard with the subclass. I feel like you're selling yourself short taking warlock just on spells. But anyway, so the Mage of Lorehold subclass, like I said, bard, warlock, wizard. So they're Mages of Lorehold are particularly concerned with forces that underlife and drive history. Drawing inspiration from the scholars and adventurers of old, they manifest the arcane powers of the past through ethereal dioramas and fantastical battle prowess. Lorehold mages are often found with a long-dead spirit summoned to the side, for who better to learn ancient history from than one who's experienced firsthand themselves. So, this is basically a pet class. You would get an ancient companion. So, it's going to be a pet class for bards and wizards, so you have a companion. We'll get to that in a second. Let's look at our Lorehold spells. It gives not every class, but a lot of them give you bonus spells based on level. Lorehold itself, they give you Knock and Locate Object at the 3rd level. At 5th level, they give Speak with the Dead and Spirit Guardians. Spirit Guardians, that's a big red flag to me. That's giving wizards and wizards, bards, and warlocks Spirit Guardians at level 5. What used to be cleric exclusive is now jumping. You could have a whole class dropping Spirit Guardians, which is cool. It fits Lorehold great, but that's just that sticks out as me as something that could be abused. 7th stone, you get Arcane Eye and Stone Shape, and 9th level, you get Destructive Wave and Legend Lore. So those are all pretty good, but the big thing that sticks out there to me is Spirit Guardians. Let's get to the Ancient Companion. So those are the Lorehold spells. So Ancient Companion, it's a level 1 major Lorehold feature. So, like, let's say you're playing a wizard, you would have to get this at level 2. Playing Sorcerer, well, you don't play this as Sorcerer, but so basically whenever you pick it, like, you get this at level 1. So level 1 dip of Warlock, you're now getting an Ancient Companion. So whenever you finish a short or long rest, so short rest, so again, 1 level dip of Warlock, whenever you finish a short, or maybe 2 levels, I don't know, you call forth a bond with one such spirit who comes to inhabit a medium freestanding statue within 10 feet of you to serve as your Ancient Companion. So I don't know if if you can make your own statue, or you have to have it. It doesn't really say anything besides that. So I feel like there's a little iffy stuff there that they need to add a little more rules to. When you bond with this Ancient Companion, you choose this type of spirit you bond with: a healer, a sage, or a warrior. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, healer seems really good. Just you become you're a level 1 warlock, and now you have a little heal bot that comes with you. Seems good. It's got the same kind of pet rules. You know, it's friendly to you and your companions. Shares your initiative count. Takes turn immediately after yours. Can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is a dodge, unless you take your bonus action or your turn to command it. So, typical pet stuff. Let's look at the actual pet though. Ancient Companion is a medium construct, any alignment. Its armor class is 14. If you pick warrior mode, it's at 16. Hit points is 5 plus 5 times your level in this class. So level 1, you got a 14 AC, 10 hit point heal bot with you. That seems really good. 14 strength, 9 dex, 15 con, 14 intelligence, 14 wisdom, 11 charisma. It's immune to poison, can't be charmed or exhausted. Perception 12. So it's got a couple abilities. One, Ancient Fortitude. If damage reduces it to 0 points, make a con save. DC plus 5, or 5 plus damage taken. On a success, it drops to 1 hit point instead, unless it's a critical. And then Sage's Counsel, which is from the Sage only. Remember, it's Healer, Sage, and Warrior you can choose when you summon it. So Sage's Counsel, while within 15 feet of the Sage, you and all allies gain plus 2 bonus to intelligence and wisdom checks. That's pretty cool. If you're exploring, trying to figure out a map, a way around a dungeon, I figure Sage's Counsel would be pretty cool. I don't know how useful it is in reality. So anyway, it's got actions. It's got a Spirit Strike. They all have this. It's a melee weapon attack. It's my spell attack modifier to hit, which is pretty good. It's got a 5-foot reach, and it hits one target. It's 1d8 plus 2 plus proficiency bonus force damage. That's not bad. Healer's Light. So this is where I think it's silly, because it doesn't have any limitation. Healer's Light, healer. So for an action, the companion chooses a creature it can see within 15 feet of itself and flares with invigorating light. The creature gains 1d8 plus proficiency bonus temporary hit points. Oh, temporary hit points. Either way. So temp HP. Okay. It's not as good as I thought it was. But that's still pretty good. I missed that temporary hit points first time I read through. It's got a reaction. It's for warrior only. When a creature within 5 feet of the companion makes a strength or dexterity saving throw, the companion imposes itself between the creature and the danger. Creature can roll a d4 and add it. So it's okay. So then the 6th level ability, Lessons of the Past. Throughout your studies, you learn how to better listen to the hard teaching of the story. When you bond with your ancient companion, you gain an additional benefit. So for healer, your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to your level of this class, and you gain the same number of hit points. So this level will be level 6, let's say. So you gain 6 extra hit points. And then when you gain hit points from a spell, you regain an additional 1d8 hit points. So I feel like this is, since really the wizard and the warlock aren't getting heal spells, this is more for the Lorehold bard. So if you heal yourself with the spell, you gain an additional 1d8. So you're a little thicker. I don't know. With Sage, you have advantage on ability checks using Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion. And additionally, once per turn you deal damage to your creature with a spell first level or higher, you deal an additional 1d8 force damage. So say if you're a skill monkey, and especially too, if you can line up being proficient in Arcana, History, Nature, and Religion, suddenly you have expertise in 4 of your abilities as a bard that already has expertise. So that seems pretty good. Warrior, you use your action to cast a cantrip. You make 1 weapon attack as part of the action. If that weapon attack hits, the target takes an additional 1d8 radiant damage. So on high level builds, this is going to be good. If you can get 6 levels of something in here that you need, probably Warlock. If you use your action to cast a cantrip, so Booming Blade, Eldritch Blast, you may make 1 weapon attack as part of that action. So I can sit here, blast an Eldritch Blast, and hit you with my Hex Blade on the same attack. I can use my cantrip to cast Booming Blade, hit you with my sword, and then immediately hit you with it again, dealing an extra 1d8. That seems really good, especially if, I mean, like I said, this is 6 level ability, so you're going to have to dig some levels. But like this with a Blade Singer, or this with a Eldritch Knight, that seems good. But again, it's you take 6 levels to get there, so we'll see. All right, so the 10th level ability, War's Echo. By pulling the magic of the past, you can cause an opponent's old wound to resonate once per turn. You can use your reaction. Someone make a Wisdom DC. On failure, target becomes vulnerable to one type of, or to all damage types by the attack. This vulnerability lasts till the end of the target's next turn and affects the damage by the triggering attack. You can use this reaction number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. It's okay. Being able to just rank somebody's vulnerability up, that's really cool. You can help your team deal a shitload of damage, especially if you got like a rogue or something in your party. But that's really specific. And again, it's a level 10 ability. And the final ability for Lorehold, level 14 plus, History's Whims. Through steeping yourself in chaotic whims of history, you learn to briefly channel the wild nature of time itself. As a bonus action, you can enter a state of chronal chaos. When you enter this state, and at the start of each of your subsequent turns in the state, you gain one of the following benefits of your choice. So you kind of go Super Saiyan for a minute. You get luck. Whenever you do make a saving throw against an effect that deals damage, you can roll d6 and add a number roll to the total. Resistance, you rewind time. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage as you knit together injuries as they occur. And swiftness, time stutters, slowing others but hurtling you forward. Your movement speed increases by 15 feet, and you do not proc tap opportunity. So if you could get like 14 levels of this and like a lore bard and like 6 levels of like chrono mage, that would be crazy. Benefit lasts till the start of your next turn. You cannot choose the same benefit 2 rounds in a row. The state lasts for 1 minute and ends early if you're incapacitated. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, or you expend a spell slot at the 4th level or higher to use it. Overall, Lorehold seems pretty strong to me. Especially just the fact that it's like, all right, here's a free companion already on, a bard and a wizard especially. Especially with the wizard being able to get Find Familiar to you, you can have at level 1 at level 1 you're talking having a familiar and a partner. Let's keep going though. Mage of Prismari's next. So the Mage of Prismari, in-game in Magic, it's red-blue. For here, it's a Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard subclass. So no Warlock, no Bard for this one. This one is just Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard only. Mages of Prismari use surges of elemental energy to express who they are and how they see the world. To them, magic and motion are one and the same. Both are expeditions of raw creativity through which masterpieces are made. So this one doesn't seem as strong as the others. I'm going to be straightforward from the get-go. And since it's Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard, it's because it involves elemental magic. Of the 5, this one seems the weakest to me. But it does still have some pretty cool abilities. Especially its level 1 ability. Take a 1-level dip in Sorcerer for a monk. It might be pretty cool. But we'll talk about it in a second. Okay. So this class doesn't have any bonus spells either. Where Lorehold does, which is why Lorehold seems so strong. Same thing with Quadric. This one does not have any bonus spells. But you do, at level 1, you get creative skills. You gain proficiency in 2 of the following skills of your choice: acrobatics, athletics, nature, or performance. I guess this represents your dancing or your nature design. I don't know. But, extra skills are always a good thing. You also have another level 1 Mage of Prismari feature called Kinetic Artistry. You can dash the bonus action. That itself is really good. Especially for a monk or something like that. So when you take this bonus action, choose one of the following additional effects. So Boreal Sweep. Icy water swirls around you. Until the end of your turn, you can move across surface of water as it was harmless solid ground. Additionally, when you leave a space within 5 feet of creature, so when you shoot off, you can force a creature to make a strength saving throw against your spell save DC. On a fail save, the creature is not prone. So as you fire off, leaves them in the dust. We have the Scorching Rule, so that's the ice one. Scorching Rule, it's a flame one. Once you end your turn, you can force each creature within 5 feet of you to make a dex save. On failure, the creature takes damage equal 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. It's okay if you jump into a group of people, but it's still just 1d4 plus spellcasting. That's 9 damage at max. Which can be cool, but it's okay. Thunderlight Jaunt, you take a nimble lightning form. Until the end of your turn, you can move through spaces of other creatures and they do not practice opportunity attacks. If you end your turn inside a creature space, they are pushed to the nearest unoccupied space. You can use this bonus action number of times a day equal to your proficiency bonus, and you finish a long rest. So it's a little jolt. You can knock somebody down, you can deal a little damage. You can dodge through people's spaces. It's cool, and it adds to the flavor, moving around. So I like it because think about being, druid. Use your action, hit a control spell, and then bonus action sliding around. Could be cool. It's definitely cool, but comparatively, it's weak to having your own heal bot at level 1. Favored mediums, level 6. You've honed your form of elemental expression to best use your ideas. Choose one of the following types: cold, fire, or lightning. You gain resistance to that type. So again, this one really focuses on elementals. You choose, cold, fire, or lightning. That's what you're going to specialize in. Additionally, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of the chosen damage type, so again, you're going to be a specialist in damage on this class. You emit an extra spectacular aura of artistry, which extends 5 feet from you in every direction. So like a 5-foot aura, and lasts until your next turn. The aura is active. Each creature of your choice is resistant to the chosen type. And and a long rest, you can switch your type. So that's cool if you have a long, you go, you're walking into a fire dragon's den. You can, boom, give yourself resistance to fire damage. And whenever you fire off a fire spell, give everybody else that. But at the same time, you're fighting a fire dragon. You're going to have to cast Burning Hands on a fire dragon to give your team resistance to fire. So it just seems, I don't know. It seems wonky to me. 10th level ability, Focus Expression. It's a level 10 Mage of Prismari feature. Honing your talents, you skillfully infuse your motions even more potent expressions of elemental might. Once per turn, you deal damage to at least one target. You gain an additional effect, the damage type. So when you hit someone with cold, they take an additional 1d6 cold damage. You got to make a con save. On a failed save, the target speed's reduced to 10. So, basically you're adding a Ray of Frost ability to a cold spell. Fire, same thing, deals an additional 1d6, but then the flames dance around one creature of your choice within 30 feet of you, and that creature gains 1d6 temporary hit points. So you shoot the flame, hit somebody, protect somebody. And then lightning is 1d6. They got to make a dexterity save, and on a failed save, they can't use your reactions. So that hits con, that hits dexterity, strength. So that one hits a lot of different. You get a lot of different options to hit different ability scores. And then you're 14, level 14, impeccable physicality. Your relentless dedication to training have instilled an outstanding sense of precision and grace in your art. You gain proficiency in dexterity saving throws if you don't already have it. Additionally, when you make a dexterity saving throw, you treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. A little late to be getting that, but that's okay. It's fine. You have dexterity. You have proficiency in dexterity saves, and essentially you have excuse me. Can't roll any lower than 10. Okay. Seems okay. It's of the group, like I said, it seems the weakest of the group. It gives you some cool options, but unless you're, I'm going to focus on cold, I'm going to focus on fire, I'm going to focus on thunder, it's not really going to work. So that doesn't really stick out to me as something I want to play. The next group, though, really, really does stick out to me as what I want to play. I almost guarantee you, if my next DM lets me, I'm playing a Mage of Quadric. It's Sorcerer Wizard subclass, so I would definitely be rocking this as a wizard. I feel like this is real strong for a support wizard. I'm going to explain why in a second. Let's talk about the Mages of Quadric first. It's blue-green. As far as magic sets go, I actually built a commander deck of Quadrics with the Quadric Dragon as the commander. So of the groups, this is probably my favorite in the game. I like, fractals, being able to make whatever creature you want. It sounds cool. But anyway, for those Mages of Quadrics, math and magic go hand in hand. Such individuals learn to break down natural phenomena into their core numerical components, and through manipulating those, alter reality on a whim. These talents range from tangible physics, like multiplying plant growth and redistributing elements of probability and acceleration, to bizarrely theoretical exercises that warp the fundamentals of space and time. You're a magic magician. You're a magic magician, basically, not a mathematician, but a magic magician. Or math magician, not magic magician, math magician. You do math, you do magical math, and carry the two, and you hit it with it. This one seems good because, again, it comes with bonus spells. So level 1 Quadric spells, this is where it gets a little silly. So again, I'm going to talk about this from the possibility of being a wizard. So, okay, I'm a wizard. I've already learned my cantrips. I've already learned my first level spells. First level 1, I learned the cantrip Guidance, so I'll get a cleric exclusive spell, Guidance. Not exclusive, but you know what I mean. Pretty. And the first level spell, Guiding Bolt. They count as class spells for you. Don't count against the number of spells known. If I'm a wizard, I just add it to my book. So, boom. Okay. Out of the gate, I've got Guiding Bolt and Guidance. So, like I said, it lends you more to the support. So, I'm going to tell why Guiding Bolt is so cool here in a second. But let's look at the rest of the other spells. So, when you hit third level spell, you get Enlarge or Reduce and Spike Growth. Spike Growth on a wizard, and it's always having a larger reduce prepared is awesome. Fifth level, Aura Vitality, kind of cool. And then haste, always having haste prepared, seems really good. Seventh level, Control Water, Freedom of Movement, okay. Ninth level, Circle of Power and Pass Wall. But Spike Growth, haste, and larger dudes, always prepared. Seems pretty good. And that's not including having guidance and guiding bolt as well. Now here's why I like, this is how I'm picturing it in my head as a support. So your first level feature is level 1. Mage of Quadric's feature is called Functions of Probability. By iterating on mathematical patterns of reality, you can nudge a chance to split. You can nudge chance to tilt around a creature. When you cast a spell using a spell slot that targets at least one creature. So let's say this is Guiding Bolt. So I use Guiding Bolt. Boom. I hit him with a creature spell. So now we have advantage. And then you can choose that creature or another creature within 30 feet, including myself, to add one of the following effects to. I would do this. So boom, I've hit you with a Guiding Bolt. I would add Diminishing Function. The chosen creature must succeed in a Wisdom saving throw equal to your spell DC. So I've hit you with Guiding Bolt. Now you got to make a Wisdom save. And now the creature must roll a d6 and subtract the number rolled from the next attack roll it makes for the start of your next turn. So boom, I hit you with a Guiding Bolt. Deal a bunch of damage. Now my team has advantage on hitting next turn. And you're going to roll a d6 and subtract it from your next attack roll. So let's say you're rolling up my homie. Boom. I've now buffed my homie to hit you and made it harder for you to hit him and dealt damage. Or you have the supplemental function, which again, I could, same thing. I hit a Guiding Bolt on the enemy and then 30 feet, any creature within 30 feet. So I can do this to my ally. Once before the start of your next turn, choose a creature can roll a d6 and add the number roll to an attack roll or a saving throw of its choice. So I could literally boom, give you advantage and then boom, give you a bonus d6 to hit that same creature too, guaranteeing a hit. Like you're locked on, got him. And that's a first level ability. That just seems strong. Adding that to anything. I feel like this one level dip and like a one level dip at Order Mage. So like if you have the supplemental function, you would target somebody. So whatever spell, let's say you use Healing Word. You heal somebody with Healing Word. They get a reaction attack and they have a d6 to add to that roll. Seems good with a one level Order Cleric dip. Like really, really good. So that's the first level of that. That's just level 1. So those Quadric seems a ton of fun. Okay, so Velocity Shift is the level 6 Major Quadric's feature. You learn to manipulate kinetic formulas and alter the velocity of another creature. When a creature you can see starts a turn to move space within 30 feet of you, you can use a reaction to force the creature to make a charisma save. On a failure, the creature is teleported to unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. This can make or break somebody. If someone's charging you and you're on like a bridge, you just bob them 30 feet, drop them to the cliff, drop them into lava, drop them into a river, drop them into your spike growth. There's so many things that this could do. You can use it a number of times equal to proficiency bonus. I love that. Velocity Shift looks so cool to me. Just whoop. Nope. You're 30 feet to the left. Sorry, dude. You're on the path of an incoming train. The 10th level ability is called Null Equation. Through careful calculations, you reset your enemies with the abstract equation to reduce their might. Once per turn, immediately after dealing damage to a creature. Alright, so let's go back to the same Guiding Bolt. I've hit you with the Guiding Bolt, I've given my team advantage, and I've given you a -6 to your attack. Once per turn, immediately after dealing damage to a creature, you can force that creature to make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. On failure, the creature has disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving throws, and its weapons attacks only deal half damage. Again, he only uses number of time my proficiency bonus, but at the same time, that's basically boom, Guiding Bolt on something, and that thing is just fucking nerfed to hell. Attacks have advantage against it. It's minusing a d6 to its next attack. It has disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving throws, and if it does hit you, it only deals half damage. That seems so nasty, especially like big single targets. You're fighting like parties fighting a dragon or some shit. It's just like boom, what's up, dude? I love it. I'm gonna make such a gross support wizard with this subclass. I'm telling you. And 14th level Quantum Tunneling. This is kind of cool. So you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Just straight up. At level 14 as a wizard. Additionally, you can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage for every 5 feet you move while inside another creature or object. If you end your turn inside a creature or object, you are shunned to the nearest unoccupied space you last occupied. Moving through things is difficult terrain means I can walk through 15 foot of wall. It hurts me a little bit, but that seems pretty cool. So overall, it just seems like a really fun support class with good to great spells on their spell list. Spike growth on a wizard and large reduce in haste, always prepared, seems really good. Same thing with freedom of movement and pass wall. Just warping through, doing what you want. It seems a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to use that. But let's keep moving forward. It's starting to get long. We still got 2 to go. So Silver Quill is next. This is the black-white one that makes like inklings, like black little ink creatures. So Mage of Silver Quill is available to bards, warlocks, and wizards. I feel like this is another one that just straight up is a bard class. It's okay for the other ones, but this one really shines being bards. Obviously, as Silver Quill is about talking and making speeches and stuff like that. So it makes sense. It would be good as a bard. So Silver Quill hone the power of words. They channel magic of light and shadow through the words, whether spoken aloud, written, or signed through gestures. The words of a mage of Silver Quill bring salvation to their allies and despair to their enemies. Sound familiar? Sounds a lot like a bard. You're just talking shit. Talking shit to subclass. So level 1 ability for Mage of Silver Quill is called Eloquent Apprentice. You learn 1 cantrip of your choice, either Sacred Flame or Vicious Mockery. So level 1, boom. Bard specific one. So this is cool if you take the Wizard or Warlock, you grab Vicious Mockery. Obviously you already have it if you're a Bard. But it doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know, and it's added to your class spells as if it isn't there. So it's just an extra cantrip, so you don't have to take Vicious Mockery. You can just grab it with this if you're a Bard. And additionally, you gain proficiency in your choice of two of the following skills: Deception, Imitation, Performance, Persuasion, or Insight. Perception and Persuasion go along with the Lying. Same thing with Performance. I mean, all 5 of them are really fitting. So you get a skill and you get a cantrip. Or 2 skills and a cantrip. That's pretty cool. Also at level 1, it seems like a lot of level 1 stuff. Silvery Barbs. You can invoke the words like some magic to demoralize your foe and turn their misfortune into a boon to bolster your allies. Immediately after a creature you can see within 60 feet of you succeeds in an attack roll or an ability check or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to demoralize the creature. Unless the creature is immune to being charmed, it re-rolls the d20 and uses a lower roll. If that makes it fail, you choose a creature within 60 feet of you, and that creature becomes empowered. It can reroll one of theirs. So basically, you can use this feature so you finish a long rest or expend a spell slot to do it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Basically, you're just like, okay, have disadvantage. Oh, you failed. We get advantage. It's pretty cool. But have disadvantage sometimes isn't gonna save you either. But it could. Inky Shroud is a level 6 Silver Quill feature. You learn the Darkness spell. So I guess this is how they're doing the Inklings. Because in the Magic lore, Inklings are like black inks, black sentient ink. They shoot out and they can write and cast spells with. Anyway, you cast a spell without expending a spell slot. You can't do it again until you finish a long rest. When you cast a spell this way, you can see normally through the darkness it created, and when a creature you see starts to turn in the darkness, you can deal 2d10 psychic damage to that creature. That's pretty cool. You can also cast a spell normally without the additional effects by using a spell slot you have. Say lower. So once a day, you can do darkness and deal 2d10. See that you can see through and deal 2d damage to a creature. It's okay. I can see, boom, dropping darkness on somebody. Alright, take the 2d10 damage and holding it. Bro, just for once a day. Getting those bonuses. If you could do it anytime, that'd be cool. Or like on Upcast, that'd be cool. I don't know. Anyway, level 10 Mage of Silver Quill feature is called Infusion of Eloquence. Whenever you cast a spell that deals damage, you can invoke additional words of power to change the spell's damage type to your choice of Psychic or Radiant. Any creature damaged by the spell takes extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus, and it has emotion sway to despair or adoration. So you can change it to Psychic. Creature is frightened for you until you start your next turn, or Radiant. The creature is charmed by you until your next turn. You can use it a number of times. You can do proficiency bonus or regain all spells uses when you finish a long rest. So you can be like, boom, I'm going to hit you with this Psychic Fireball and make you frightened of me. Or I'm going to hit you with this Radiant Fireball and make you charmed by me. That's kind of cool, I guess. Not really my style. I don't see myself playing this either, just the way I play Dungeons & Dragons. But this 14th level ability, Word of Power, seems pretty good. If you can evoke Word of Power that is pinnacle of your magical study, you gain the following options. Deadly Despair, when a target of your silvery barbs fails an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, so when you give a disadvantage. You can invoke Words of Despair to give the target vulnerability to one damage type of your choice so you start your next turn. So, that's kind of cool. Oh, you have disadvantage. Oh, you failed? Okay, you have disadvantage. You have vulnerability to piercing damage. Then, boom, Rogue comes in, hits you with a sneak attack. Boom, double the damage. Gross. Can be cool. The other one's Selfless Invocation. When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you takes damage, you can invoke a Word of Power using your reaction to grant the creature resistance to that damage. And you take an amount of psychic damage equal to the damage that creature takes. So kind of defensive, kind of helps your team out. Overall, not a big fan. In Magic, I love the design of it, like shooting the black ink and what they stand for. But mechanically, I don't know if I would actually end up playing it in a game. Okay, and our last one is the Mage of Witherbloom subclass. This is for Druids and Warlocks only. It's kind of it's life and death. You get some healing, you get some hurting stuff. I feel like this would be better for Druid than a Warlock. I feel like Warlock can do any of these. Just, they don't have as many spell slots to do the stuff. To each their own. This one does come with bonus spells as well. Versus the other one. But let's talk about it first. Mages of the Witherbloom draw their magic from the energy, the endless flows of life to death and back again. They see the duality of thriving life and inevitable death of all things, tapping and manipulating transition energy between these states. Some Witherbloom focus on vital energies to nurture life and empower others, while others embrace the drain of vitality to decay the sap and strike down their foes. So, life and death and plants. It's black-green. Witherbloom spells, level 1, Mage of Witherbloom feature. You learn the cantrip Spare the Dying, and the first level spell Cure Wound and Inflict Wounds. So that's cool in a Warlock because you're getting 2 spells out of your spell list that you can cast. If you're a Druid, you always have these spells. So Inflict Wounds is kind of good. It's kind of a good spell. You could just be the Cure Wounds, one hand, Inflict Wounds, other hands guy. I can see that being a really fun. And actually, as a Warlock, since you have to cast this high level, just grabbing somebody with your hand. I don't know. They also get other spells, though. 3rd level, they get Lesser Restoration, Ray of Enfeeblement. 5th level, they get Revivify and Vampiric Touch. 7th level, Blight and Greater Restoration. And 9th, they get Anti-Life Shell and Mass Cure Wounds. It's okay. It's definitely I heal you or I drain you kind of class. So its first level ability, level 1 Mage of Witherbloom feature called Essence Tap. As a bonus action, you can draw on a reservoir of life essence to empower yourself for 1 minute or until you use this feature again. For the duration, you gain one of the following benefits. Overgrowth. When you choose this benefit as a bonus action on subsequent turns while this benefit lasts, you can expend and roll one of your hit dice. You gain a number of hit points equal to the number roll plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So, fuck healing on a rest. You just hit this and you heal up a little bonus. But again, it's equal to the number of hit die you have. So if you do this to heal up and then you get hurt later, you're not going to have any hit die to heal. So I don't know if I even like that. The other one's called Withering Strike. When you deal damage, you can change the damage type to necrotic and ignore resistance to necrotic. So I can hit you with damage. All my damage is going to be necrotic, and if you have resistance, it doesn't matter. You can use this feature a number of times, including proficiency bonus, and regain all expended use when you finish a long rest. So it's okay. Witherbloom Brew. This is the one that kind of sticks out to me as like the big one. It's like a witch's cauldron. You gain proficiency with the herbalism kit. When you finish a long rest, you can use the herbalism kit in a pot or cauldron to create magical brews. You create a number of brews equal to your proficiency bonus. Each brew requires its own flask. A brew retains its magical potency for 24 hours or until it is used. For each brew, choose one of the following effects. So there's 3 effects. There's fortifying. When you create this brew, choose cold, fire, necrotic, poison, or radiant. Creature drinks this brew. They get resistance to that chosen type for an hour. Quickening, can drink this brew or administer it for an action. They get regains 2d6 hit points and 1 disease or condition from following list. The recipient regains 2d6 hit points and disease or condition. Okay, end. So you can end, charm, frighten, paralyze, poisoned, or stunned. Okay, that's pretty cool. And toxifying, its action apply this brew to a simpler martial weapon. Next time the weapon or piece of ammunition fired hits a creature within 1 hour, it takes 2d6 poison damage. Or get poisoned. That's kind of cool. You create your own poison. It kind of be cool. 6 levels in this, for like a warlock. Or a druid, then jump over and do alchemist. That could be kind of fun. Witherbloom Adept is the 10th level Mage of Witherbloom feature. Your connection with the flow of life force deepens once per turn when you deal necrotic damage or restore hit points using a spell. One target of the spell takes additional damage or regains additional hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. That's actually kind of cool. Just a little bonus to your necrotic damage due to your healing. It's pretty straightforward. It's a real tiny little thing. And then the 14th level, this is the last thing, Withering Vortex. When you cast a spell using the spell slot that deals necrotic damage to any number of creatures that aren't undead or constructs, choose one of the creatures that took damage. You drain an amount of life energy equal to half the damage dealt to the chosen creature. One other creature other than yourself you can see within 30 feet of you regains number of hit points equal to life energy drained. You can use this number of times equal to proficiency bonus. So that's cool, Hit him with a cloud kill or something and then pull some health out and give it to somebody. Overall seems kind of cool. Kind of gives you that healing, drainy kind of vibe. So I like it. But that's it. That's the end of the UA for Strixhaven. Like I said, I feel like Lorehold and Quadric are the stronger of the two. Then I probably go Witherbloom, Silver Quill, and then Prismari at the bottom. I definitely want to play Quadric's Mage. I kind of want to play Witherbloom Druid too. We'll see though. But I guess we're gonna end the podcast here. Thanks for listening. This one's definitely longer than last week. We're gonna keep them probably about this length going forward. So you can, watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Kyle's Vlog. Find the regular channel on YouTube, Kyle's Vlog. Find our gaming channel, Kyle's Vlog Gaming. And of course here, Kyle's Vlog, the podcast. But thanks for listening. Good luck out there playing some Magic, playing Strixhaven. I hope this was helpful for you guys. A lot of new options, a lot of cool abilities. So we'll take it from there. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Adios, amigos. Till the next time.